Thom Yorke's voice is so unique that it makes an instant impression on you, and you can't even quite believe the voice that you're hearing. But what actually makes Thom Yorke's voice so captivating, and how do you find it in your voice? I'll show you. Ooh, let's go! Radiohead has had an incredible amount of hits and is solidly in the top rock bands of the last 30 years. A huge reason for their success is not only the band's songwriting, but also Thom Yorke's incredibly unique and distinctive vocal style. Many beginning singers that love Radiohead can't help but imitate Thom Yorke's voice, but so many fail. Today, I want to take a look at what makes Thom Yorke's voice sound so distinctive and show you some simple exercises that you can use to get the same kind of tones in your own voice. That way you can master his style. Thom Yorke's voice is like a collection of different vocal effects. He can switch from a breathy vocal tone to screaming so quickly that you barely even have time to register what happened as a listener. First, we have to listen to and identify these different vocal effects. Then you can learn to imitate and eventually master them. The first place to start is the very breathy tone that Yorke has in his voice. Here are some quick examples. And notice how there's a vibrato in every single note. Everything.
Wake from your sleep.
So breathy.
The drying of your tears today.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so fragile and delicate. Gorgeous, so beautiful. The problem with this sound is that typically it's seen as poor technique because there's no real chest voice or real bottom in the sound, and that also creates a loss of the breath support. But Yorke has been doing this for years, and he can sing with a full chest voice anytime that he wants to. So this breathy sound can kind of be seen as a choice rather than his default. To find this sound, let's try a vocal exercise that encourages a lot of breathiness. In this case, a fee, like you're saying the word fever. And try to keep it really, really breathy and light. We'll just do that on 5 tone, 5 notes up, and 5 notes down on fee, like fever. So, fee, 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 fee. Then you can apply the same feeling to the lyrics. Fee, 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 everything. But remember not to use this breathy tone everywhere. If you sing too lightly, your voice will just crack on the top. Fee. Instead, practice singing with that full chest voice, and then you can start to layer in this sound as an effect rather than as the default. The next vocal effect that makes Thom Yorke's voice so distinct is his yodel from chest voice up to his falsetto. Chest voice is typically associated with the bottom notes in the voice, so the kind of sounds, and falsetto would be kind of the false or breathy version of a head voice at the top, like ooh. Here are some quick examples.
The fake plastic girl. Don't leave me dry.
And then he's back in chest at the end. Oh my God, it's just too good. Unfortunately, many singers already have this yodel in their voice that they're trying to get rid of. And often in voice lessons, we're training against that. ooh. Now, to find this yodel in your own voice, it's really simple. You're going to start by singing a low note with an open vowel where your mouth is open, like an ah. And then you're going to switch to a high note on a more narrow vowel, like ooh. So we can try that on an ah. So an ah, ooh, ah. Remember, too many singers still need to learn how to make this transition smoothly in their voice. So if that's something that you're struggling with, maybe try to make that transition in your voice smoother by trying it on like a bratty neigh exercise on the same note, like a neigh, 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 neigh. Then you can go back and practice your yodel on pitch, but not before. The next vocal effect that Thom Yorke is known for is his belt. Belting means that you're singing high notes with a lot of power, which is often accompanied by vocal strain. Here are some quick examples. Ah, that just does it every time.
You do it to yourself, you do it all through the sea. The right things when election.
Unfortunately, compared with other singers, Yorke's voice is very intuitive and sounds self-trained. As a result, it can be really strainy, kind of limited, and unpredictable. But that's one of the things that I love about it. There's that moment where you're left wondering, like, is he gonna make it? And then when he does, it's incredibly exciting. But this may be terrible training for you, someone that's just trying to improve your voice. A very simple exercise that you can use to improve your belt and train your voice to bring up a lot of that strength and excitement up to those high notes is the octave repeat na, as in nasty. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Then you can translate the same feeling from that exercise to the lyrics. Na 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 na. But I can't help the feeling I could blow through the ceiling. One of the most trademark sounds that makes Thom Yorke's voice sound so distinctive are his intentional vocal breaks. In Yorke's voice, you might not even notice them, but they are absolutely crucial to nailing the sound. Most singers that I know are trying to get rid of these breaks, but again, Thom takes these vocal imperfections and makes them a crucial part of his vocal style. Just listen to that hurts. A very quick exercise that you can use to get this sound in your own voice is using an attack and release. So we're going to attack with a consonant that tends to flow a little bit more air. For instance, like an F, like feel, or S, as in steel. Both of these consonants will kind of help you encourage a little bit of that break, like you're going feel, 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 feel. But it's so incredibly important that you don't make these sounds the default in your singing. Remember that Thom Yorke has had nearly 3 decades since their major label debut with Pablo Honey to really refine and kind of internalize all of these sounds and make them his own. And honestly, he's gotten a lot better in that time. Practice these quick tips, but don't let them become your style. The goal of vocal training is to eventually get the freedom to make whatever sounds that you want. But I have to warn you, Thom Yorke's eccentric vocal style might actually hold you back. I know it did with me. While some of these tips are really fun, don't let it replace high-quality vocal training and practice along with some great vocal warm-ups like these right here.